There is no question about it. Some people are simply hard to read. They're hard to read. It's hard to figure out what they're thinking. Sometimes it's hard to even figure out what kind of mood they're in, if they like you or not. This especially happens in general kind of social situations or work situations. Just feeling like you can't quite figure somebody out. They're really difficult to read. Now, why is this? Let me just jump right to it. There are really a couple of main reasons. One has to do with just poor social skills. A lot of times, if you're dealing with somebody who you feel like they're really hard to read, it's because they often have bad social skills. Now, here's the thing. When we think about the term socially awkward, a lot of times you think about somebody who's sort of gawky and uncomfortable and, maybe, kind of slips on their own word and maybe insecure or hesitant in some ways. That's not always the case. Socially awkward also refers very generally to people who kind of don't act in a way that we would expect most adults to act. So in social situations, there are certain expectations for, how people think people are going to act. Well, some people simply, with some of the most basic social conventions, don't seem to have it down pat, don't seem to act in ways that are what we would think of as normal. For example, something good happens to you, other people say to you, good job. If you look upset and maybe you're crying or you feel sad, somebody asks something like, are you okay? Is something wrong? We are talking about the most basic social conventions imaginable, things that a lot of times you can take a young child at 5, 6, or 7. Some of these same social conventions a young child already knows and is good at. Sometimes adults actually haven't yet gotten those down, haven't yet figured out how to act socially in ways where they show good, positive social skills. So if you have someone that you're thinking of who's really hard to read, that's often one reason. Just put simply, their social skills are really subpar. Now, the second reason is different, but it's related. They are bad communicators. People who are hard to read are often simply bad communicators. They do not know how to communicate well. They may have certain feelings or certain thoughts that are going on in their head, and something gets locked or shut. And so they don't actually have the ability to synthesize all those thoughts and feelings in the moment and then act in a way that we would expect them to. They don't have a way to communicate their thoughts and their feelings clearly and simply. Now, here's the thing with people who are bad communicators, and you may already be able to guess what the answer to this question is. Take a group of people who are bad communicators. Do they want to become good communicators? Do you believe that most bad communicators are aware they're bad communicators, but also are actively working on trying to change, really, truly want to change? Well, we certainly hope so, because communicating is a major part of every kind of relationship a person could have: a work relationship, a friend relationship, a neighbor relationship, a romantic relationship. All of them, for them to work functionally, require good copacetic communication. But here's the thing: a lot of people who are bad communicators, they're not working on it. It's not even something that they really value. Becoming a good communicator, trying to communicate better. Well, in that situation, somebody who's a bad communicator, but they don't want to become better, they're not trying. What the heck does that mean? Well, a lot of times, what it means is there's kind of a smugness sometimes that they may have. Sometimes people who are bad communicators, there is a certain sort of position that they operate from where they're like, yeah, this is just me. They may even say something or operate from the perspective of like, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not for everybody. It is so shocking when I hear some people say that because it's concerning. It's concerning because there's no collaboration there. There's no sense of unity or spirit in being collaborative and trying to work with other people, trying to adapt ourselves in social situations to try to think about, well, maybe what somebody else's emotional needs are or how they communicate and trying to find a good middle ground together. No, some people who are bad communicators, they actually can be kind of smug about the way they are and really defiant, almost kind of oppositional, and refuse to work on their issues, refuse to change. This is one of the reasons why some people are so hard to read, because not only are they bad communicators, but also you add into the mix a little oppositionality and defiance. And the effect of that in social situations with you and probably with other people is that a lot of other people feel like, who is this person? It's hard to understand this person. I can't figure them out. And here is what I want to leave you with someone who is hard to read. While it is valuable sometimes to spend a little bit of time trying to think about the other person and what might possibly be going on for them, why they are the way they are, spending too much time there is not good for you. Where you should spend more time is making sure you're clear on the answer to this question. How do I feel when I am in this person's orbit? Take this person who's hard to read, who's hard to figure out. How do you feel in situations with them when you can't quite read them? Do you like it or do you actually not like it? Do you feel comfortable or do you actually feel uncomfortable? Being honest with yourself, checking in with yourself at that level is better for you and will serve you better in the end than wasting too much time trying to figure out a person who may be unnecessarily complicating things. I'm Dr. Seth, psychologist.